So you've cut your job. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? It's beautiful. That is beautiful. Look at it. Look, look. Oh, it's beautiful. So you've cut your acrylic, or you've cut your aluminium, or you've cut something, right? You've cut it. This is where we come on to deburring tools. So you've got lots of options when it comes to deburring. So this can be for aluminium, acrylic, 3D prints. So I also deburr 3D prints. I deburr them as well to get off of any sharp edges. And here's some of the options that you can use. So I'll put links to all these types of deburrer in the description, and you can check them out. So this is a beautiful one by Armour tooling. So this is a little deburr tool by Armour tooling. Look at that, nice anodized aluminium. It's got the replaceable tips, so you just pull that back and the tips pop out. They've got a lock-in slot on them. Pop them back in. You can replace them when they go blunt. Then next we've got this Faithfull one. I've had this since I was doing engineering, and I've got a couple of them. So I've got one, but with my 3D printers, to be honest, I use that in there. So I've got this one. I don't know what it would be called technically. We'll call it the oval deburrer. Anyway, I've got a triangular one in the house with the 3D prints. So it comes down to a sharp triangular point, and it's got 3 cutting edges on it, so you can use any one of the 3 edges. That's really good, but this is also really good for doing edges. And then obviously we've just got our handheld chamfer tool, and this is obviously just great for doing the holes. So if you're doing a big hole, if you're doing doing the little holes or the big holes, it's really quick. You just come in a very light press on there, and you can just deburr the holes. So it just takes a tiny little sliver off, and it just removes that sort of sharp edge on it. Obviously do it on aluminium as well. You don't need to push very hard, just a tiny little press, and flip it over, do the other side. So yeah, this I use these all the time. 3D prints, aluminium probably especially, and this occasion acrylic. So I'll leave a description. These are perfect, absolutely perfect for doing holes. Then when we come up here to this one, these are good for loads of things. So you could do the edge. You can do the edges with these. They'll do the edges nicely, but they're really good for getting into like odd shapes as well, because this is fully 360 degrees rotates, and it sort of follows the pattern of your movement. So what you want to be careful with any of these deburring tools is it's very easy, if you're not careful, to slip and scratch your job. So if you're pulling on it too hard, etc., it's very easy to slip and just scratch across your job, and that just makes you cry. So don't do that. I normally just try to keep a steady hand, sort of. I want to use another finger on the job just to keep my hand stable, and you're just going to come along and it will just follow your hand. I don't know if you can see that little tiny sliver coming off. So just aluminium, you'd have to pull a little bit harder, but just very gently you just follow it round. It just follows the contour, and you just see a little tiny sliver come off like so. Like I say, you can use this on the edges. If this was aluminium, I'd probably use this tool on all the edges as well. But since this is acrylic and a lot softer, and I don't want to slip, I'll come over to this one. These are really good, they're for like scraping. They're light scrapers. So you just put it's got basically like the 2 cutting edges either side. You just literally rest that on there and drag it along, and you'll see little slivers coming off, and that's now just knock that edge off. You're just knocking the edge off. You can see there, we can get that little slivers just coming off, and you're just taking the edge off with it. But it's, once again, you've got to make sure you keep your hand steady, because it's very easy to slip off of the part. So I often keep my thumb on the edge in front of the cutter, and then you can just follow it like so, and your thumb just stops you slipping across the part, and then you can just follow it round, and that's it. That deburrs it. So I've got a few of those to do, so I'll get on and do those. But yeah, these are three great deburring tools. It's 3 great hand finish options for you. I'll leave links to those, but they're worthwhile having in everyone's toolbox. It's worth it. It's always nice to have some tools to finish your jobs. So there we go. If you like those, keep watching for more tips, tricks and tools, and I'll see you all in the next video.